Okay, my couture crafters, let's get into these earrings. These earrings are pretty popular right now. They've been popular probably for about the last year, so I figured I'd give it a shot and see if I can make them. So I imported this from an app that you can do on your phone that'll make, your fonts and your graffiti style fonts. You just have to figure out which one you want. And then you can upload it to your Cricut as a JPEG or a PNG or an SVG into Design Space. I am not giving you all the specifics because there are people who charge for this. And I learned from a lady who does. She has a $10 paid group, and I really, wouldn't want to give away all her secrets. I mean, some stuff is just simple Design Space, but some stuff is probably her trade secrets. They have a couple of groups on Facebook, like the Bamboo Hustlers, that kind of thing. And you can find out how to do variations of this. But right now, I'm just showing you how to get an outline in Cricut Design Space, which I don't like doing. This is not my favorite way to get a shadow layer. It's not, but it's doable. I've seen people do it this way. And basically all you do is duplicate your picture. So the Mac right there is duplicated. And then you just keep layering a bunch of different layers. So you keep duplicating it until it gets thicker and thicker and you're welding it together. So I take it, I change it from being colorful to being a cut file. So instead of printing it, it's a cut file, and I duplicate that cut file, and then I just drop that Mac on top of it to see if it's shadowing. So you can see that it's giving me a decent shadow around. It's okay. It's a way to do it. It's not my favorite way to do it because it's not as accurate. This is me jumping to Sure Cuts a Lot 5, which I love. I'm learning to get to use it again. So for this, you can't just drop a JPEG into the software, which is unfortunate. You have to trace it. And so I lose a lot of the detail, even if I add a bunch of colors, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to get this outline. So I trace the image, and then I'm going to go ahead and right click, go to appearance, and then go to shadow layer, and bam, you see that purple shadow around there? And then you can adjust it and smooth it out and make it a little bit larger. And it imports as a PNG or an SVG. Two layers. It imports so that there's two layers to it, which I think is an SVG, which is perfect. So now with this Cox, which I didn't end up using because it's a different font and different colors, but blah, blah, blah. You can see that that purple layer fits perfectly around the outside. It's completely blacked out. It is actually my preference. I don't know how to use Inkscape per se. I imagine it's probably very similar to this program here, but not my gift. So I have to stick to what I know, which is this. So I decided I liked the way that this looked much better than the piecing it together. So I went ahead and did it again, imported this, didn't need the colors. I just want the outline. And don't worry about what color you make the background because you can change the matte in Cricut. You can change the color in Cricut to whatever you want because again, it's importing in its two different layers. So again, this software is called Sure Cuts a Lot. You can actually use it with the Cricut now. There was a point in time when Cricut would not allow you to use the software, which sucks so bad because this is the software I started off with many, many years ago, like Sure Cuts a Lot 1. So I'm happy that we're back in business. So of course I did it again for that Mac because it just gives a more precise outline until Cricut Design Space comes up with the software upgrade that allows you to do this. So I took that black layer off and I made that purple and blue layer the same size as that black layer so that I knew it would fit perfectly on top of that red layer. Now, you do not have to worry about the sizing just yet. We can resize it. Right now, we're just trying to make sure that the layer looks nice on top of the background layer, and then we can play with it. So see, I was just measuring to make sure that it was exact, and then we can group them together and we can change the size to whatever we need it to be. But isn't that cute? Now I have a nice outline. Now I'm grabbing some images, Mickey and Minnie. I have some that I purchased. I have some Disney blah blah. What are those Disney and Friends cartridges? And those sometimes come with a shadow layer too. So then you can take the shadow layer to that, weld it to the other shadow layer. Again, I'm not giving a real tutorial. If you do Design Space, you're probably keeping up with what I'm saying. If not, you probably need to go ahead and check out those Facebook groups and see how to do this. But again, grab a shadow layer, weld it to the back, drop this in front, and play with it. Now I cut out a ton of different layers. That's what makes these nameplates and these necklaces and bracelets so cool, is how thick they are and how sturdy they are. So I did 7 black layers. Then I did a background, like a pretty background, so that you can see the outline. I flipped it so that I have 2 of those. So I have 7, 8, 9. So I did 9 layers on the back. So here I am just layering it up. You see that blue layer? That's the layer that I'm talking about, that I put on top of the background matte layer. This probably sounds like a lot, but again, I'm not trying to give you all of these ladies' details. There are other people on YouTube who've also done this video where you can kind of get a better understanding. But again, check out the Bamboo Hustlers or check out Nadine Usher. I'm going to link her information down at the bottom. So yeah, I did 7 layers, and then I went ahead and put the blue layer on the black to cover up all the black, which is so pretty. That blue paper, it's not glitter paper. It's it's kind of like glitter paper, but it's striped. I don't even know how to explain it. I usually use it during the holiday times, but I figured this blue was pretty with the blue graffiti. I might do another one of these. I don't know. These were okay. Something to do, something to try, but I don't think this is going to be my thing. Like Nadine and them, they make these, sell these, flip them, trip them out, all that kind of stuff. I bought a couple more pairs just in case I screwed up the first pair. So maybe I'll try some painted ones, her painted melt ones. Maybe. We'll see. So anyway, now I'm sealing this first top layer. And the reason why I'm doing that is because when the resin hits it, you don't want it to warp or stain your cardstock. So I'm using micro glaze, which is like a Vaseline that evaporates and it keeps your paper sealed. It did an okay job. And then I just went ahead and laid it on there, rubbed it in there, and then I just buffed it off the excess with a paper towel. Tim Holtz has some micro glaze too. Mine is by Judykins. And it worked okay. So then I went ahead and glued the rest of these together. I used art glitter glue, which worked fine. I know some people use that gel tacky glue to glue onto glitter paper, but my art glitter glue really doesn't fail me. So I'm pleased with still using art glitter glue. So now, again, that back layer, that blue layer, I think there are about 9 layers there. This top layer here, I think I did 5 layers, with the last one being that print-to-cut design at the top. And she's cute. She's pretty. I like it. And so I just pressed those down, and boy, is this sturdy. You got about 15 layers of paper, and I'm using wet glue, and wet glue on top of paper will change it to cement. This is this nail lamp that I'm using. I'm using UV resin for the first time. I like that lamp because it does 99 seconds, which is one of the longer times for those lamps. Because it's UV, I turn the light off so that this stuff didn't cure. But it turns out I didn't need to do that. This really didn't cure under my current setup. The lights that I have, it didn't cure. It had to be put under that UV light in order to cure, which made me very happy because I could not see what I was doing on that very first layer of resin, which I did around the sides. Then I work with the back, and then I work with the top. But it turns out I did not need to turn off my lights for this. The resin did not begin to cure by the light. If you don't have a UV lamp, you can sit this outside from anywhere between 5 and 20 minutes, and it will cure outside too, so that you don't have to wait. Resin work can take forever if you've got the regular part A, part B resin, but this was faster. I made sure to wear a mask because it is shooting off fumes but I didn't get a headache or anything like that. But I also wasn't doing this all day, so it would probably be wise to do this in a well-ventilated area, which is probably why everybody's been doing their nails outside. Oh boy, the world is a mess right now, guys. But anyway, do this in a well-ventilated area. I had a fan on too because I was so concerned. And it cooked up pretty good. I didn't get a lot of bubbles and all that, and if I did, I could have sanded it down. But for my first go, it's worked out pretty good. I'm pleased. So my E6000 finally arrived in 3 separate packages, which was really weird because I bought a 3 pack. But this Gorilla Glue works just like it, smells like it, looks like it, acts like it, sets very, very quickly. So I just went ahead and used that since it was already open from my wand project. And there we are. The light picks it up kind of weird, but they came out pretty cool. Thanks for hanging out. See you later. Bye.